The hard part about being responsible for a universe is that your audience isn't monolithic. We have people who like the hard military aspect of it, and there's people like me who love the Forerunner stuff. We have other people who are in love with Cortana. There are also people, a significant amount of our audience, who don't care. They're not really paying that much attention to it, they just like the gameplay.
You ask 20 different people and they'll all give you 20 different answers. For me, I've always loved the multiplayer side of Halo.
Story helps drive the gameplay, but gameplay is king.
First-person shooters used to be only on the PC, and it's because the freedom that the mouse allowed you to move around the game space was essential to get those precise shots on enemies. Halo completely changed all of that.
Everything moved the way you felt it should move. Everyone could just pick up the controller and instantly get into it.
Halo was built upon 30 seconds of fun. Everybody who talks about Halo talks about the awesome gameplay.
Halo Wars is a tough sell because it's a real-time strategy game on a console. This genre of game was made for a keyboard and mouse. It was made so you could have hotkeys, groups of units, and send them into battle strategically.
Take all of these guys and just watch them destroy people. There's a lot of fun of the RTS that console players have not gotten to experience.
Bringing that to a controller with a limited number of buttons is not an easy thing to do.
We wanted something that was inviting and very easy to play, so that's where the rule of 8 came from. I get this nice attractive looking menu. There's at most 8 things there, the rule of 8. We ended up with cooler, more individualized units because, to be honest, we couldn't have that many.
This opportunity to do it on the console is a way to sort of reevaluate what is key, what is core to a real-time strategy game that isn't through 30 keys on the keyboard, but a handful of buttons on the controller.
Halo's it is the best game ever made. I love military strategy, so both in one, it's almost too good.
Everyone that we've showed it to them, when they reach the end of the first game, the first thing they ask is if they can play again.
I think my girl's gonna break up with me because I'm not gonna stop playing it.
If Halo is cool, it's cool because it's full of cool stuff that people want to use and play with and destroy and blow up and shoot. It is a universe full of things to play with.
Halo has a really distinct visual style to it. There's a distinct visual style to the Covenant versus the Space Marines and their vehicles. Even some of the different classes of aliens and classes of soldiers.
This is a way to look at all those other cool machines, all that other cool technology, those other aspects of the Halo universe.
Having the opportunity to add to a universe like Halo is exciting.
We start with the core of what was from Halo. What's going to be recognizable? I see Spartans, I see a Warthog, I see a Scorpion tank. And those are all iconic things that everybody loves.
The Banshees, the Ghosts, these are all things that people can recognize at a glance, even recognize the audio of those things.
Hey, hold on, I know that sound. I have heard that sound before. It almost makes you appreciate how much of this series we've just sort of subsumed into our subconscious.
But to create an RTS, we needed a little bit more depth.
It's an RTS, so it needs a lot of units, it needs a lot of vehicles and weapons, and they just invented some really beautiful things in that space and made sure that they fit UNSC architectural guidelines, as it were, and made sure that mapped to Covenant aesthetics, and just created some really awesome new stuff that will be used elsewhere in the universe. Every time we add, we embrace, and you'll see it pop up in other places.
The fact that we can go on Xbox Live to play other people, that is going to be ridiculous.
You have to think a little more strategically. It's not as clear-cut as playing Halo as a first-person shooter, because, if you see them, shoot them.
In Halo, you're typically only seeing 10 problems ahead of you. In Halo Wars, you can see them by the 100.
We have to have a lot of depth in there. It can't just be, oh, I build my 3 Spartans and it's game over. There has to be a counter to that, and there has to be a counter to that counter.
As you play it, I think that the layers of the onion get peeled back, and the subtleties of the strategy that we've built in there become more apparent.
Like, you can tell that this game can be very competitive. It can get hard at a competitive level, and that's the good thing.
Like chess, if you win, it's all you. If you lose, you're not as smart as the other guy.
A game is a series of interesting decisions, and a strategy game is, I think, the perfect embodiment of that.
With any kind of universe as big as Halo, the sky's the limit of how far it could actually go.
If you have that much scale to work in with your fiction, this huge, wondrously magical universe that's laid out in front of you, and a great 100,000-year-old mystery, then you literally have infinite stories to tell.